evening, keepers of the cash. Gary B, the casual comic guy here, and joining me on Tuesday, as always, the man with the fattest stacks of comics in the
This
land,
dude,
Rob. How
Fat
you doing,
Man. Oh wait, how's it going, Gary?
It's going well, sir.
Let's
It's,
start the
it's
energy
been a
with
busy
start the
week.
show with my start the show with my burst of energy before I fall asleep halfway
Right.
through.
That's right. Okay.
As is my status modus operandi.
We'll gently nudge you throughout the show to make sure you're still there.
Thank you.
And of course, joining us, making his first appearance on the 1011 this evening, we have Tony, the Signature King. Tony, how you doing today, sir?
I am great. Appreciate the invite to the show. I've been creeping for quite a long time, so why not? Let's just jump on and have some fun. I enjoy talking comics with everybody, especially everybody in the chat. So don't forget to sub each other. There's a lot of good people in the chat too.
And you've been a chat regular on my channel for a little while now, so thank you very much.
I try. Thank you for sure.
Now, Tony,
sub each other. What's the worst that could happen?
Right. Yeah, right. What I like to do, and you've watched enough of these to know, give everyone the 2 minutes on who you are and what your channel's about. We'll say hi to the audience, and we'll come back to you for your first book.
Sure. Pretty obvious, Signature King. So that hopefully that is self-explanatory. I just surpassed 500 books signed. So that's not signatures. That's physical books. Some books have, a bajillion signatures on them. I have no clue how many physical signatures I have. I stopped counting at 1,000, and that was a long time ago.
Now, your thing is getting them in person, right?
In person, I have had a few that have come across as gifts, and I've only ever purchased one. But the overwhelming majority I've accumulated myself.
Nice.
Which is way more fun. And part of the 1011 is you're supposed to have a couple of books to tell a story. Well, when you have this many signatures, they all got stories.
Oh, we can't wait to hear them. First, though, let's say hi to our chat. We have first in, as always, Las Cruces. James, good evening, sir. Hulk Collector 82. Kevin, nice to see you. One of my all-time favorite people, Jerry the Jitterbug. How you doing tonight, Jerry? And Steve White. How you doing, Steve? Another good Canadian boy there. How you doing, sir? Great to see you, Steve. Paul, Psychedelic Comics. Good evening, sir. Nice to see you. Anachronic Comics, another favorite person. Joe, that whole crew there I love. Joe, Steve White, Jerry. Also coming in this evening, we have, where'd I see him? Oh, did I scroll past? Milt, there we go. Flowers Comics. Milt will be coming up for a second appearance in November. Good evening, Milt. Nice to see you, sir. And Milt thinks you have a great name.
Oh, appreciate
it. Forget the name. I love the jacket.
How you doing tonight, John? Nice to see you, sir. John was busy the other night with his girls in soccer, doing the soccer dad thing. But we'll keep saying hi as people trickle in here. Kenneth Bird, Ben Compton just popped in. How you doing tonight, guys? The notifications are hitting. But let's get back to you, Tony. So I'm anxious to see the books you're going to show and why some of these signatures are your favorites. So let's just get to your first book and get it out in the open.
So this particular piece started off a long time ago, and I didn't know where I was going with it, but it has slowly morphed into a very awesome piece of comic book history, and that is Heroes Against Hunger.
Ooh,
with several big names on here. And they are as follows. Marv Wolfman, George Perez, Neil Adams, Dave Gibbons, Joe Rubenstein, Walt Simonson, Jose Luis Garcia Lopez, Bernie Wrightson, Klaus Johnson, Jim Starlin, Joe Stanton, Howard Chaykin, Al Morgan, and Jan Duursma. So, yes, some heavy hitter names. And honestly, there's a few on there that are no longer with us. So to get those signatures is
these are
crazy.
These are always fun books. I love these big compilation books, like to bring with me to a con instead of having to lug, especially when I'm traveling, not having to lug a bunch of individual books, being able to grab a book or two that have 40, 50, 60 creators on it that you can go hit up, get 5 signatures at a single con easily type thing. These are always a lot of fun.
Now, Tony, I don't have mine signed, But I was lucky enough. I found a copy. I only paid $1.25 for it.
I think I got this book, probably somewhere around there, probably like a dollar bin or
Right?
something.
I think it's a sleeper book that not a lot of people know about.
Yeah, and it was at the time it was for obviously for charity, but this is started a long time ago. I think it was 2014, maybe earlier than that. I don't remember. 2012, I think.
Now the names you said on the back, those are all the signatures you have on the cover?
Yep, all these have signed the book, all of them. So there's a lot. And what's great, what I love about this book, if I bring it to somebody, and they see some of these signatures, I'm like, holy cow, how did you get, so and so? Like I haven't seen them in ages. How they doing? Like it's a great conversation piece at a convention, especially when you present it to someone who's going to sign it.
Right, and they know that they're adding the names to their peers and colleagues. It's kind of fun.
Yep. And Al Malgrim, who just signed it recently at Baltimore, same thing. I think he talked about this book for 20 minutes and how cool it was to collaborate with all these, AAA names that are in the industry. So he had a lot of fun. It seemed like he was having a lot of fun reminiscing.
Right. Well, any collab book like that, you get the creators together. You can't help but have that nostalgia with it.
Yeah. I think this came out in 86. So this was before I was around. But
it was all the famine, Ethiopia. It was all the big things. There was that, and then there was Marvel did their Heroes for Hope or something like that. I think it was called.
Yeah, something like that.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah, but this book is one that I always bring to conventions for sure.
Yeah.
And he said he wasn't born yet. Now I'm feeling really old because I was 26.
I was. I won't tell you when I was born, but definitely wasn't in '86.
Wow.
Yeah.
Right?
Sorry, guys.
Exactly, Jerry. We are the world. I remember all that going on.
Yeah, right. Time. Yeah, all that. All the artists singing that song.
Well, great first book to start it out with. Who doesn't like all those names? That's great. And
yeah,
I think you're the first person I've seen with a Jan Duursema autograph.
Yep, that's me too. I really like CBCS and their signature verification program. Just for fun, I priced this book out what it would cost.
Oh no, you don't want to do that.
Yeah, I shouldn't have, but I'm pushing around $470 some for one book.
Yeah, because it's $30 for the first and $25 each additional, not counting then the cost of the slabbing of the book, even if you don't get it graded.
Yeah,
once I really go beyond 3, I really stop with that.
Well,
I mean,
yeah, I should have. There's plenty of times where I thought, you know what, on that book, I'm done. I'm not going to get any more. And then someone comes, I'm just like, oh, come on. Okay.
That's when I started creating my own. That's when I started creating my own COAs. Was just so I could. Okay, look, I know this is my collection. This piece is not a book I could sell to anybody, anyways, and it's mine. I'm gonna make my own COA just so I know who is on it, and that's good enough for me.
Yeah,
maybe then get one of those slab it yourself kits when I'm all done.
Yeah, I thought about doing that, but I really enjoy CBCS. I really got to know Steve Borak when he was there. He's not there anymore, but I know a lot of them. We're not like good friends, but
right.
I have no problem giving them my business at all. But hey, that's okay. But I'll slab that book someday. Who knows?
Right. It costs you a shiny gold nugget.
Yeah, right. I got to win a shiny gold nugget too in order to afford the signature verification.
You gotta
go through. The problem is you'll go through it and then you'll get 14, 15 signatures on there and like one that they won't be able to verify for some reason.
Nah, that sucks. Yeah, I wouldn't know what to do.
Did they all do it in the same color ink? Did you make sure of that, or
they're all gold or they're all black Sharpie? So
nice.
Pretty standard.
All right, number 2, sir. Great start.
Number 2, one of my favorite characters. I love the Green Lantern Corps, and once this is my first time meeting this particular artist or writer. Artist, and I got him to sign this bad boy, Green Lantern Corps, number 201 from June of 86, Joe Stanton. It's a little hard to tell. It's in one of those shiny little Mylars, but yeah, I got to chat books with Joe, and he's a super down to earth guy, and he's one of those very few creators actually now who charge nothing for a signature. He doesn't even have a bucket for a donation for a charity. He just, if you got a book with his name on it, it's free.
Did he chat to you about Dick Tracy? And now
he loves Dick Tracy. He will talk your ear off about Dick Tracy.
Now, who's your favorite Green Lantern, Tony?
I'd probably have to say Hal Jordan. I'm going to go Hal Jordan. Yeah. Just because we all try to relate to our favorite comic book heroes in some way. So, Hal Jordan is a military vet. So am I. So there's that relation, I guess, is same thing with Jon Stewart, I guess. He was a Marine Corps guy, but hey, that's okay. It's okay if you're a Marine. But yeah, that's why I jumped onto Hal Jordan, at a young age. My dad was in the Army. Hal Jordan is an Air Force pilot, so that's pretty cool. So I liked Hal Jordan from a young age, and growing up, it was nice to see, him come back defeating Parallax. So, Mastodon. I've met Mastodon a couple times. So,
nice.
How you doing, buddy? Yeah, him and I got a picture with No Good Comics when we were at Hershey Comic Con. But yeah, I love Hal Jordan. This is the first appearance of Kilowog for those who are unaware. This big green guy back here, and pretty sure this counts as maybe a spec book, but I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the movie or upcoming live action TV show somewhere. So
right, and he was already in the Ryan Reynolds movie.
That's true. But who knows? Maybe they won't do him dirty like they did last time.
I thought he was good as a teacher.
Yeah, he's good. He was good, but I think they could have done it a little bit better, in my opinion. But that's here nor there.
The end of that movie made me want another one, though, because when you saw Tom, the actor, he's so good.
Mark Strong
come out with as Yellow Sinestro, you're like, ooh.
Yeah.
They just fell in the same trap right, they fell in the same trap as the Cloud villain. When people were doing Cloud villains, you're like, really? Cop out.
Yeah, I didn't think the Green Lantern movie was that bad. Everybody either.
No, I didn't hate it. I just, I enjoyed it too. And I thought you had Mark Strong, and I thought Kilowog was really good. There you go.
Hey man, you could send that book my way. I see Joe Stanton probably 3 times a year. So,
yeah. Oh, there you go.
I was really happy to get a nice sketch cover from him at the Heroes this year. So, yeah,
he's starting to slow down. I mean, he's not getting any younger, but I notice every year his prices for his sketches go up and up and up. Probably because it takes him longer and longer and longer.
It was
super nice guy.
It was nice as he had some pre-done sketch covers. And so it was like $100, and it was a real nice head sketch. And it's like every day, twice on Sunday, baby.
Right? Easy money for him.
Yeah, nice guy. Very, very, very humble guy. Him and his wife are just some of the most humble people on planet Earth, for sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I felt the same way when I met Keith Williams and his wife. They're both so nice.
Oh,
yeah.
They're the nicest people you can walk into.
Yeah. They'll bump, you bump into them and they'll apologize to you like it was their fault.
Right. I got 6 books here signed by Keith Williams. I just kept talking to the guy and handed him books.
Yeah, but I got the best. I handed him a Ravage #1, baby. Ravage 2099 #1, have him sign.
Mine were all Web of Spider-Man.
Then I got the whole story of him getting to work with Stan Lee.
Nice.
All the stuff, so.
Number 3, Tony.
Probably the first Ravage 2099 #1 he ever signed in his life.
Right.
I'm going to go with another really shiny foil book, Batman Beyond. This is the, I forget.
Is it a Fan Expo?
It is a Fan Expo exclusive, signed by Rick Burkett, limited to 500.
Very cool.
Nice.
And funny story about this one is I paid almost nothing for this book.
Wow.
Because somebody that I know got rid of some of their books, and they decided instead of coming to me to give me some cool books, they went to like Books A Million or Second and Charles, and they didn't know what they had. And I knew this book was signed, so I went in there and snagged it for probably like $10 or $15. They didn't know that on the inside, the signature is actually on the inside, but
right.
Yeah, I paid next to nothing for this book. Yeah, poor Warlord. I feel bad for him. He's tearing apart the internet looking for this book. And there's only 500 of them, so
yeah, I haven't seen one. I haven't seen one myself, but I mean, I recognize what it was.
Yeah,
but...
I enjoy Batman Beyond. It was a great show when I was a kid, so I've got plenty of Batman Beyond signatures. But as soon as I saw a foil, I knew I had to have it.
And I'm still surprised they haven't brought Terry McGinnis into anything live action yet, even a TV show.
Yeah, they keep teasing us with that live action Batman Beyond movie for like the last 30 years, it seems like. And, just as it seems to get any kind of momentum, it's usually one of the first things that gets scrapped.
Well, you thought when they were doing the World of Tomorrow on the CW that they could have brought him in for an episode or two,
Or some kind of cameo in the Flash movie, Oh, they went too far forward in time, something like that. Even if it's just brief, like, Batman Beyond standing on a rooftop or something,
Well, I kind of thought when they're coming out with the Flash, that's the direction they're heading with Keaton, with him being the mentor.
He was supposed to be, Michael Keaton, Bruce Wayne in the future. That's what was supposed to happen. But alas, nothing.
All right, number 4, sir.
Number 4. So one of my all-time favorite characters. I think this is the only book in the collection that isn't signed. Collection is in the books I picked. But everyone likes Magic. I'm a huge fan of Magic. The Specter. Sorry for the glare, but this is his first Silver Age appearance, I think. Or first solo magazine. I forget.
First solo.
Silver.
His first Silver Age appearance is like in one of the Brave and the Bolds or
Yeah. So the Specter, for those of you who are not in the know, is the DC's Ghost Rider, even though Specter came out first. Right. Yeah, I just like the whole notion, your God's wrath. I think that's pretty cool. Your vengeance, you punish the just, or punish those who need to be punished, but show compassion where compassion is needed. So
right, and a great, like a classic design. It's simple yet effective.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Joe's right. It's showcase.
Showcase. Okay. Yeah, I think that that sounds about right. But hey, a cool book nonetheless. I got this one of my LCS. Long story short, I ended up somehow with 2 comic book pressers, and obviously I only need one. So I traded my LCS, a comic book presser, for some credit, and I bought this and a couple other books. So
and a fun Gulliver's Travels homage cover.
Yeah. This is a pretty interesting book. This Specter is chasing this spirit through time and trying to defeat him through time. That's why you get like the same guy, and he's like in a bunch of different costumes. So it's a pretty cool story. So if you ever see this out there, I think it's more on the expensive side. Now you're not going to find it at the dollar bin or anything, but definitely snag it if you can, for sure. Specter is always a great book for sure. Always a great book. And I'm excited to, in my opinion, he should be getting a DC Black Label book. Because now the new kind of modern Specter is he'll just rip you in half, like he doesn't care.
Well, so should Deadman.
I think didn't Deadman get a Black Label book? Yeah, he got one.
Well, wasn't he partnered though? Like not just his own.
I think it was a one-shot Black Label. But
okay.
It was him. Yeah, he didn't get like this long run or anything. It was short, like maybe 3 issues tops.
Or a Gentleman Ghost.
Gentleman Ghost? Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. That would be pretty cool. I'll take some Gentleman Ghost.
All right, number 5. Good book. That was a great cover.
It was. Number 5, like I said, I'm a big fan of Magic. Right. And this character is on my top 3 favorites of all time, along with, some of my, along with the writer here, but that one would be, Shazam. So I grabbed this Shazam book. This one was one of the first Shazam books I ever read as a kid. So it's it's a story that's near and dear to me, and obviously signed here by Jerry Ordway, who's a fantastic gentleman. He actually saved this book for me because I went to Baltimore Comic-Con. Was it 2 years ago? No, it was last year. I got a whole bunch of stuff signed from him, and across his booth was empty. So I put my stuff down on the empty table, and I'm adjusting myself and getting my kids a drink, and on the table there's a sign that says free, and it was like for little candies and stuff like that. Well, I accidentally left my book there and walked away. And someone picked it up and asked Jerry Ordway, like, is this free? And he's like, no, that's not. I know who left that there. So as I was leaving the con, I was like, oh no, I left all my Jerry Ordway stuff at that booth. So I run back there, and I was like, man, did anybody turn in any books? And Jerry Ordway's like, oh yeah, someone turned in all those stuff. I was like, oh, thank God.
Nice.
So shout out to Jerry Ordway for saving the convention for me.
Right.
He definitely saved that con for me. That one, that could have been bad. I would have cried.
Right. Yeah, just a little, right?
just a little, because he's he's one of my favorite writers, writing for my favorite character. But yeah, savior of the convention for sure.
Now, being a Shazam or Captain Marvel fan, do you watch Jerry the Jitterbugs channel?
I do. He's a big Shazam Captain Marvel guy, and I have the complete 73 run. I've got several issues of actual Shazam, but he's way better at pressing than I ever hoped to be. So, hats off to him.
Nice. There you go, Holy Twinkle. That crown is legit. Holy Twinkie, sorry, not Twinkle.
Thanks, bro. I appreciate it.
Holy Twinkle is somebody completely different.
Right?
Yeah, right. Number 6. This one's a little bit different. So this is the Superman gallery. For those of you who aren't aware what this book is, this is just a whole bunch of Superman art that's been published by DC. And every page,
really happy right now.
Oh, I bet. So every page, I'll use this one example, is a different artist or writer or something. So I actually, one of my long-term projects is to get as many of these as I can. So this side we have Jerry Ordway. This side we have Bob McLeod. Lots of them on here. Mike Zeck is in this book. Wow. Jose Luis Garcia Lopez. Neil Adams. Here's an even a nice spread here of Jerry Ordway. Nice World War II.
Wow.
Fighting the bad guys cover. But yeah, this one is one of those ones that's going to take me a long time to finish, and there's parts that I'll never be able to finish, obviously, because I think Joe Shuster has a couple pages in here. But yeah, some Brett Breeding on here.
Did they put Kurt Swan in there at all? Just out of curiosity.
There is some Kurt Swan in here. I don't know what page he's on, but I recognize it. I got some Mike Zeck. Everybody likes Mike Zeck.
Now, Mike Zeck has one of the best signatures out there.
He's in my top 3.
His signature is really good.
Yes.
Mike Mayhew does a good signature as well.
He does. Oh, yeah, here's a Kurt Swan right here. Not signed, but still cool.
Nice.
But,
just because he's so like, just him and Superman go together.
Yes. And here is a Mike Mayhew signature. If you can see it in the glare. This is his homage.
Yeah, I see it.
This is the homage to Neil Adams.
Oh, nice
Cover. This is 169 out of 200.
Yeah, I got a few of his signatures. They're nice.
Yeah, they are. And he's a super cool guy too, to talk to. Yeah,
that's a cool. I love the gallery art books like that too. When you just get one of your favorite heroes just showcased, like you can always just pick it up. Like it's one of those things when you're going through your boxes, you always pick it up and look through it again.
Yeah, I find myself looking through it all the time.
I have a Marvel Art of Conan one, and every time I hit it's a hardback. Every time I see it, I'm there for 35 minutes looking at the art again.
Yeah, and that's another book that when I have someone sign it, they're gonna thumb through it. They're gonna talk about it. They're gonna say who's whose art is way better than theirs or whose has the cleanest line. So that's another book that I have to plan on being at whoever's booth for a while when I bust it out.
And you got Son of a Bruce saying Darwin Cook is right up there for a clean signature.
I've seen it a couple times. It's nice. I would say my all-time favorite physical signature is Philip Tan. When he uses his minimalist pen in like a really bright white, oh man, does it pop, and it looks great.
I love his art too. His art's so good.
Yeah, I met him this year for the first time, so I got to sign a lot of stuff.
Number 7.
Number 7, one of my favorite groups in DC is Suicide Squad. And this one is one of my favorite stories. I got it signed by John Ostrander, who wrote it, and cover artist Howard Chaykin. So happy to have both of those legendary signatures in my collection. Sorry about the glare on this one, but yeah, those.
Oh, it looks great,
shiny. Yeah. I love Suicide Squad. It's always in my pull list, even for modern stuff. I love the movies. Everyone seemed to not like the first one. I thought it was fantastic.
I like the first one more than I like the first one a lot, actually.
Yeah,
well,
I did too.
With you on it.
Although one scene I got to call out is when Boomerang, he's whipping his boomerang around a corner to use like a just drone. And remember, this boomerang spin, but for some reason when he looks at a camera on his boomerang, it's the most stable camera that you've ever seen in your life. Yeah, John Ostrander, he's an awesome guy. I'm glad I had the pleasure to meet him when I did. I know he's got a lot of health problems. I think he retired from the convention circuit. I think that con was probably one of his last ones. But he was talking about the Suicide Squad movie, the very first one, and they flew him out to New York and they gave him the VIP treatment. He had to meet the cast, the director, and he said when he dies, he's going out thinking of moments like that, and putting a smile on his face. And
right,
way to be humble. Right? Yeah, definitely. Suicide Squad is great.
I really like Howard Chaykin's art too.
Everybody likes Howard Chaykin's art. I can't think of anyone that I've ever met that's looked at his art and says, meh.
Because just yesterday I read the 3 Iron Wolves from Weird.
Okay.
Just he had neat little one-offs with the company. Howard Chaykin he wasn't afraid to put a crazy idea out there and get it done.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's still, but back then he was kind of controversial with some of his stuff. But I mean, nowadays it's practically children's art. But in terms of content.
Who's your favorite squad member of Suicide Squad throughout the years and all the people they've had on the team?
Oh, man. Probably when they paid Deathstroke to be in it. When Amanda Waller was just like, what's it take to get you on the team? And Deathstroke shoots her a number and she's like, yeah, okay. And Deathstroke's like, oh, you're actually going to pay me? And he's like, yeah. It was like, I gave you a number I didn't think that you would agree to. So, all right, I'm in. Probably Deathstroke or Black Manta. Those two are my favorites because they were the oddballs. They were the only ones that were there getting paid. Everyone else was forced.
Right.
Or even Bane. Bane was part of the Suicide Squad for a while. That was pretty cool. I liked it. I liked his brief appearance in the Suicide Squad.
Nice. And now I'm wondering if we're going to see any Doom Patrol from you. All right, number 8.
Who knows? Dipping outside of DC briefly. We're going to the world of the Ninja Turtles. Being a big Ninja Turtle fan growing up, this book has a lot of meaning to me. One, of course, you got to meet Kevin Eastman, so he signed this book for me, and this was the first signature that I've ever had witnessed. So this is a 5.5 book, but that's okay. He announced he was coming to Comic-Con back in 2016,
right?
And I had like no books to sign, and I was like, dude, the convention is like 3 days. So I zipped down to my LCS and was like, first Ninja Turtle book I see that's in decent shape, I'm gonna snag it. So I grabbed it, and this was it. And it was so humbling to meet Kevin Eastman, who's probably responsible for my whole nerdiness, because I really grew up on the Ninja Turtles had all the action figures, all the toys and vehicles, and it was a problem.
Right. Well, yeah, and a problem that's never gone away because they've been like the top selling toy for years now.
It'll probably never change. Although I heard the newest Ninja Turtle movie, the animated one, wasn't great. But funny story about the Ninja Turtles. When the movie came out, the very first one, I was a kid and I cried. And my parents were like, "Why are you crying?" And I told them I wanted to be a Ninja Turtle when I grew up. So I'll never see them again because I got to live in the sewers. So my parents went out of their way to find like the making of the Ninja Turtles, like on a video, to show me like, yeah, they're just people in costumes.
But those movies got charm. I love that first movie. The costumes, I guess I'm just from that era and my age,
I love it.
There's a certain kitschy fun to those costumes.
Practical effects, in my opinion, if done properly, will always be better than the best CGI. And I think the Ninja Turtles is a great example. Those CGI, or not CGI, those practical costumes, oh man, better than the CGI Ninja Turtles for sure. For sure. In fact, I'll always say that.
So what's your favorite turtle movie out of all the ones out there?
Probably number one. Probably the very first one. Back then, I think Raphael had a scene where he just yelled "damn" really loud, and I was like, holy cow, he just said "damn." Like on a movie, and my parents let me watch it.
Well, my parents weren't nearly that strict. They're like,
my parents weren't that strict either, but like, it depended on their mood.
Right. Oh, gotcha. All right, nice book and good signature. I've had his signature a few times. I've given most of them out to people who are big fans of him.
Yeah, if he were to ever cross my path again, I'd have to dig deep and maybe make a impromptu, way too expensive purchase. That when it gets shipped to me, I got to tell them that it's for kids with cancer.
Right?
That kind of a purchase. Oh, it's not for me. These are books that are donated.
All right, number 9, sir.
Number 9 was a toss-up for me. I had a hard time deciding, so I went with the most recent one just because it's cool. And this one's going to be borderline impossible to see because it's so shiny. This is a Booster Gold. See if I can get it without the glare. There we go, a little bit better.
You just gave Joe palpitations in the chat.
That's okay, because I love Booster Gold too. Signed. This is one of the most recent ones in my collection. I got this signed like a month ago at Baltimore Comic-Con. What's cool about this book is on the registry, it's the only 9.8 with Mike Zeck's signature. So
wow.
It's very cool. And I did get the original Booster Gold number 1 direct edition signed. So I got them both. The OG and the new one. I just like the new one because it's super shiny. I should have considered the glare, but oh well.
So like Joe, you're a big fan of this character. You followed him for a while?
Yeah. I every time a book comes out with Booster Gold, I'm always grabbing it. Even if it's in, like Convergence, the terrible DC storyline. Booster Gold had a 2-issue run, and I bought them both. Just because I really enjoy the character.
I bought the 2 Supergirl ones, even though it's not the real Supergirl in them.
Yeah, right. Yeah. I think I bought every Convergence book just because I thought they were going to be better than what they were. But yeah, I think this is could double as a spec book. Booster Gold, I really do think he's going to make a big entrance into the DCU for sure. For sure.
We're not even going to highlight Magic Lasso's comment because it's just wrong. Dazzler beats everybody, Lasso.
I don't think so. He's just ruffling some feathers.
Right? But and he was like really pivotal in 52.
He was very pivotal in New 52. So yeah, I foresee big things in Booster Gold's future, especially in the movies, or maybe live action. But I think he's coming somewhere.
I'm actually surprised they haven't done a DC animated movie with him and Blue Beetle.
As long as they do it with the right Blue Beetle. The current, Jaime Reyes Blue Beetle, I really don't think.
No, I'm not
Booster
talking about
Gold.
him.
Yeah, Ted Cord.
Yes.
Ted Cord. Yeah. And for those of you who have seen the Blue Beetle movie, or haven't, I'm sorry, spoiler, it's been out for a while and it's streaming now, so I'm going to spoil the movie. But at the end of the movie, in one of the end credit scene, they make it very known that Ted Cord is alive. Unknowing, you don't know he's alive, but he's alive. I think that's a great entrance for Booster Gold. Maybe that they could say that's where he was. He went into the future, and Booster Gold helped him get home.
Bring me Garrett, and then we're talking.
But I think the current Blue Beetle, Jaime Reyes, he fits really great with Firestorm. They're the same age. You know what I mean? They're both college kids. They're both real young.
Or they play with timelines so much. You could do something crazy like Blue Beetle Corps and just have all the Blue Beetles together for an adventure.
Yeah.
There we go. There
that
we go,
would be cool.
But which Dan Garrett? That's the question.
Yeah, I did get the here's my first print too. So I got that one also signed by Mike DiCarlo as well. So this one and the other one I couldn't decide.
And that's a really nice cover too.
It is. It really is. Dan Jurgens comes to town every once in a while, so next time he's in town, I gotta get him to sign both of those, and they're 100% complete.
All right, number 10.
Number 10. Did I have a number 10? Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up. So,
part of the show.
Part of the show. So one of my favorite villains goes great with one of my favorite characters, and that would be Black Adam.
Oh, nice.
Everybody should love Black Adam. So, signed by Ron Mars and who is it? Brandon Peterson, the writer and the interior artist. I just really enjoy Black Adam. He's one of my favorite villains. I really enjoyed the Black Adam movie. What's unique about this one is technically a reprint. If you're familiar with the Page Puncher toy line that DC had done, so that's where I got this one. But I also did get the actual variant cover signed as well by both of them. So
now, how can you tell the difference with the ones that come in the Page Puncher? Does it just say reprint inside?
Page Puncher doesn't have a barcode.
Yeah. No
okay. So it's like
the actual one variant. Does. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
So
they still sell the Page Punchers at Target.
They do. And that's where I got this one. So as soon as I saw that Page Puncher Black Adam was getting this cover, I knew those two gentlemen were going to be at a convention. So I got to snag it for sure. Get them both to sign it. Black Adam's great. I'm mad that they didn't cross him over with Shazam at all. I'm still upset about it.
Concept with him against the white background.
It is. This is I think it's the Boss Logic variant. I think that's what they call it. He did the cover, so very cool. I excited to get him to sign anything Boss Logic does.
I was gonna say, are you gonna try to get his signature on those now?
Yep. Everything he touches turns into gold, so I have to. Absolutely have to.
I still remember loving that Iron Man one he did when it was just the face, the mask.
I saw that one. That was cool. I thought that was one of his better ones. It is. It is for sure.
All right, so now we have number 11 with a personal story attached.
Personal story, yes. And I'm glad I got this book because someone in the chat gave it to me. Magic Lasso.
I was gonna say Ryan wrote that, didn't he?
Ryan wrote it. And he is a great community member. And he even signed it for me, so that's cool. So it fits in the collection great.
That is awesome.
I don't think I have enough kind words to say to Mr. Lasso. He's such a down-to-earth guy. I see him in every chat. I hope he continues his writing career in comic books, and that's why I did it. Didn't see it coming, so I hope he continues, and see where his career takes him. Who knows? This might be the first one of many, and he'll grow up to be the next Jeff Johns. You know what I mean? That I'm glad I have it. He's a cool bro.
I don't think his journey will be complete until he writes a Wonder Woman one shot.
Oh yeah, and then he can die with a smile on his face. So for anyone who doesn't know, community member Magic Lasso is the writer of this book, Female Force. They do a lot of biographies on strong females. A whole bunch. I can't even name them. Michelle Obama was one of them. Hillary Clinton, I think, was one of them. They do athletes, they do singers, they do this one. So, so this one was the one that Ryan wrote for Loretta Lynn. So that's pretty cool.
Some of those covers are rough. That's actually a really nice cover.
Yeah, it is.
Because I think the Hillary one's a pretty rough cover.
And that's okay. But this one is, it's extra special. It's from a community member. And I think she passed before this was published. So she didn't get a chance to see it. So I think there's even some foil variants. I think Lasso said there's some foils out there in the wild.
Yeah, he's a super guy. We had him on the 1011, and he told great stories, and he just a lot of fun to talk to. Oh yeah,
definitely a lot of fun to talk to. So if you are interested in supporting Magic Lasso, contact him. You can buy one. I'm sure he'll throw a signature on it or direct you to a link where you can buy it. But I've seen these on eBay too for some reason. So, and he's in CLZ now. You can actually CLZ this book. So that's pretty cool. Shout out to Magic Lasso.
And he said that she passed the day before the book's release. So at least
I knew it was close. I knew it was close. And that's unfortunate. So she never got to see it.
Nice. All right. I guess, Tony, we are left with your spec pick, sir.
Spec pick. This one was easy for me. This one was super easy for me. When I was at Baltimore Comic-Con, I got to meet Jeff Johns and talk with him very briefly. And at his panel, he showed test footage for Geiger. So it's happening. Geiger is happening. Confirmed by Jeff Johns. Obviously, the writer's strike that just ended. But at the time, it was a big deal. Everything stopped. But the test footage looked cool. I'm excited for it. But I'm not sure how it's going to go. Is it going to go with Geiger? Or is it going to go with Geiger Ground Zero? This is the Ash Can edition, and it's also signed. So,
nice.
I got both of them. So my spec is either one of them, whichever one. But
I was gonna say, being a DC guy, he's got to be one of your favorites.
He is.
I mean, he's to DC what Roy Thomas was to Marvel.
I have a lot of Roy Thomas signatures too on some DC books, so I'm okay with that comparison. How long did you wait for that, Jeff? Bro,
CJ wants to know how long you waited in line for that autograph.
I waited in line about 3 hours.
Wow.
And I was pretty close to the front. The problem was the convention people were saying, hey, when you get up there, no photographs or anything. Like, he'll just sign your books and get out. Like, we got a lot of people to choose. Everyone said, to hell with that. I'm getting pictures with Jeff Johns, and just clogged up the line. But that's okay. I got my 12 books signed by Jeff Johns.
With Jeff Johns?
I did not get a picture with Jeff Johns. I followed the rules. I was considering the people behind me, trying to keep the line moving. But yeah, you had to buy a badge, a special VIP badge to get in. I was that guy on the side laughing at everyone waiting in line. I think I remember you.
CJ, Nick's the best.
Yeah, it was but it was a great experience. It's the first time. I have plenty of Jeff Johns signatures that people have gotten for me, but it was the first time that I had acquired some myself. So it was extra special for me. It was, in my opinion, it was worth a 3-hour wait.
Right. Well, when you get to meet a creator that's that important to you, you know?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Very much enjoyed it. I look forward to that con every year.
Now, when you're in a line that is that long, how do you hold your spot if you have to leave and use the bathroom?
I guess the etiquette is to ask the person behind you, hey, can I hit the restroom real quick? And if they say no, I mean, hold it.
Right? Well,
Or just let it go,
I didn't
either
know if
one.
the con had anything in place. Like, look, they're going to be waiting 3 hours. People are going to have to use the bathroom.
See, I go in with a strategy. And my strategy is to dehydrate myself so I don't have that problem.
So you pass out in line.
And don't forget to lock your knees. But yeah, obviously don't kill yourself, but slow, steady sips. Maintain a level of hydration.
Now, what's the most challenging signature you've ever gotten?
Oh man,
not that the person was challenging, just that the having events line up to be able to get the signature was a challenge.
I would probably toss it up to Scott Snyder, who he signed this. And this one, it says it might not work, but it says from the personal collection of Scott Snyder, signed by Scott Snyder. What does it say? Scott Snyder, Jonathan Galbapentin, and Greg Capullo. So obviously these three guys are like, everybody wants them. The problem is you can't get in line early because they'll kick you out of the line. And you can't wait till the line's already starting to form because they put a cap on it, like 60 people, you're done. And he's only going to be signing for like an hour. So the trick is to shine it towards everyone. Yeah.
And then we're going to ask Magic Lasso's question for you after.
Okay. But yeah, you gotta circle the Greg Capullos and the Scott Snyders like a dying creature, and you're some kind of vulture. So as soon as they unlink that chain, you gotta get in right there.
You know it, Matt Woods. All right, so if you could have one signature, Ryan's asking, from a creator who's passed away, who and on what book?
Jack Kirby on anything. That's my pick. An absolute legend in the industry.
Right.
And for those of you who are near Pennsylvania and are interested, Jack Kirby was a Pennsylvania resident his whole life, briefly moved to New York, but when he died, he donated his entire collection to the Pennsylvania State Library and Archive. So there is Jack Kirby art. No, I'm sorry, Steve Ditko. Steve Ditko art and stories and never before seen stuff just sitting in the Pennsylvania Archive. And the Pennsylvania state government had just won their lawsuit against Disney. Disney was trying to claim all that stuff back. It's mostly Spider-Man. So the state won. We're keeping the collection. You can visit the collection absolutely for free. You don't even have to make an appointment. You just walk in, tell them what you want to see, and they'll show it to you.
We had something like that open here in Rochester recently. Joe Kubert.
Okay. Yeah. Very cool.
At the college, so you can just go in and see. Now, for a second, Tony, I gotta ask that same question to Rob. Rob, like you, is big into signatures. So, Rob, Ryan's question to you: if you could have any person's signature who's no longer with us, and on what book?
Since I don't have faith that the Neil Adams book that I had sent off before he passed and still is out someplace in Mysteryland is ever going to come back, I would say that Neil Adams. I wouldn't mind having him. He can sign Batman 237 here for me, or
that's a hot
227. Yeah,
there you go. Nice.
Yeah.
As for me, it'd be John Buscema signing a Conan book.
Ooh, that's a hot pick.
I mean, either that or maybe I could pull my ASM 1 down and have Stan Lee sign it, but I do have a Stan Lee sign. I do have a Stan Lee signed ASM book.
And so, CJ's saying what I thought you were going to go with.
Oh, Schomburg. Well, there you go. Problem is, what would I have? I don't have a lot of Schomburg books, and the only ones I have are not. I mean, the Startling Comics would be okay. Otherwise, probably the best book I have really is his last book, last cover, which would be the
The Invaders
Invaders,
annual.
king size giant, annuals. That would be pretty cool. But yeah, but no, I wanted a Neil Adams. I tried to get it before he passed, and I have a book that's been out forever, and I'm having problems getting a hold of the presser or the guy who facilitated it to validate whether or not it ever came back from the Neil Adams estate before he passed, or if it got stuck and lost. My guess is it's lost in his estate at this point, and I'm probably never going to see it again.
Oh,
it wasn't an expensive book, but it was a Superman book, but it was his first superhero work. Once he got done doing, because early on he was doing romance and stuff like that, so it was his first superhero stuff that he did.
He was doing magazines too.
Yeah, so I was hoping to get it. And I just don't know. Not holding my breath. If it ever shows up, it'll be a miracle.
Right. All right, it'll be a good video when it shows up.
Yeah, right. Miracles
it's
do
been
happen.
2 years now, so
Miracles do happen.
I want the video of you knocking on their door going, you owe me a book.
Road trip. Let's go. Let's go find the Neil Adams estate.
That's right.
No, but Tony, great books, man. Great story.
Thank you.
That was a lot of fun seeing what you brought. And you said you're a DC guy, but you didn't bring all mainstream DC. You brought some cool picks. So you got some fun out of the ordinary stuff. You had signatures of creators that I like seeing because you don't see them everywhere. Like the Gender Sema, right? You don't see that signature a lot. And I think for me, some of the ones I want, I'm just gonna have to buy because they've passed. Like I've been eyeing an Ernie Chan book with Ernie Chan's signature on it because but cool stuff.
Collecting signatures is fun. I got into it by accident, so the fact that I made it this far.
But there's a few people I care enough about, like their work has affected me so much growing up that I would like it.
Yeah. And there's some people like was it 2016? I got Peter Tomasi to sign some stuff. This was the first time I met him, and he was like a buck of signature. I was like, dude, that's totally reasonable. I can totally do that. And now it's like he signed on with comicsketchart.com. It's $25 now for Peter Tomasi for one. And I'm like, well, I'm glad I got him to sign some stuff before. $25. No offense to him, but that seems a little expensive.
Escalated.
He hasn't gotten there yet. He's good, but he's not, Neil Adams quality yet.
Especially for the unwitnessed. That's where it really gets.
Yeah, $25 for unwitnessed raw book, $25.
Yeah, that should be 10 at the most. At the most.
Tom King, when I met him, when Batman Rebirth first kicked off, he'd sign whatever you got, and he was there for charity. You just put whatever you want in the bucket, and he'll sign everything. Now it's first one's free, next one's $5, after that it's 10 and 15. It's like, geez, man. Like I know you got to eat too.
Shooter, he signed 2 books for me for free. Yeah, here you go. Enjoy.
Dan Jurgens he's a really nice guy too, and he's always big about the Hero Initiative and collected money for them. I remember when I first met him, some guy came with a book that had Joe Shuster's signature on it.
Good evening.
And the guy was like, hey, you have Joe Shuster, put some money in this bucket. Like, he's the reason the charity exists. And the guy's like, I'm not putting any money in your bucket. And he just took his book and he left.
Wow.
I was like, geez. And I saw Dan Jurgens go from a happy guy to like, I'm going to rip that dude in half like a phone book kind of dude. Right. It was pretty funny.
All you can think of at that point is you're not that guy, at least, right? It's just
thank gosh, yeah.
Like that guy's got to have a miserable life to be that way.
Yeah. To go to a convention and just be, real uppity like that. Oh man, I know cons can be stressful, especially for me because I'm trying to hit all these people and I got like clock's ticking as soon as I get through that door. But right. We'll get them hopefully next time.
Last question before we wrap this up and go around the table, see what everyone's got coming up. So since you get these signatures in person, how much planning goes into you going to a convention? And like, are you getting the maps and mapping out a plan on how you're going to get them and everything?
Oh yeah. There's a lot of planning. because usually the wife lets me pick one day. If it's a big convention like Baltimore, it's 3 days long. I can pick one day. So I got to cram everybody in, and get them all in one day. The most I've ever gotten in one day was probably 130 some signatures in
That's
one
a
day.
lot.
Dude, I was sweating fierce.
Did you pass out that evening?
Yeah, no, I felt like it. I get the signature. I say thanks. A high five. I put the money in the bucket. I'm on the next one. Like, I got the program. I got a, I see where everybody's at, and I just up and down, up and down, up and down.
And avoid any distractions, right?
I try. It's really hard sometimes. Like, those people trying to sell like their own indie book. No offense to them, but like, they need to find a way to talk to people. Because this one guy who was trying to sell me, he's like, "Hey man, do you read comic books?" I'm like,
"Really?
We are at a comic convention." As I'm holding comic books, like, "Nah, I hate comics, man. Get out of here with them."
I don't read them. I just collect.
How did I even end up here?
But it's just like I kept walking. I was just like, "Yeah, that's a bad start, man. Bad start. Figure something else out. You failed the draw in already."
Right?
It was funny.
Well, no, but I had to ask you because I'm like, this dude's got to have a plan when he goes.
I have the plan. I map it out. And what's great is a lot of artists and writers will put a time that they're signing. You won't know until you get there. It'll be like, Bob Smith signing at 9 a.m. So you're like, sweet, I can come back. But I got to call out Brian Michael Bendis for not doing that. So people read his line from 9 a.m. to noon. And he didn't have a sign, so people wasted 3 hours for nothing. They could have just come back. Yeah.
And a creator of his status, you think would know better.
And his argument is, well, I'm signing your book for free. I'll get there when I get there. It was like, dude, some people are here to see you and somebody else. Have a little bit of courtesy. But I didn't get him this year. The one year he finally actually showed up for Baltimore Comic-Con after canceling for the last 5 years.
Wow.
And I missed it because I was stuck with Jeff Johns. But that's okay.
All right, so we're going to wrap up a sec, but who's on your bucket list for the rest of this year to get?
I'm done for this year. All my conventions are done. I'm done. Next year, though, that's a completely different story.
Sounds like quitters talk to me.
Well, all of the conventions around me are done. The next one is New York, and that's in like a week, but I'm not doing
New York. Yeah. And I'm sure there's a billion fan expos coming up still. Some little cons.
Sure. Yeah.
Some of the I've got some great stuff at some of the little cons.
Best con I ever went to that I'll never go to again, Comic-Con in Mumbai, India.
Yeah.
Very fun con.
Joe's saying come to New York City.
I would love to come to New York Comic-Con. That would be fun.
All right. Seth 11. All right, so we'll go around. First, Rob, what's coming up for you? And I hear there's a little thing that you're helping out with called Comics Curing Cancer.
Oh, sure. But so first on my channel, we did a Monday mail call, had a bunch of sketch commissions come back from artists that at cons they weren't able to complete. So there's a bunch of, so they mailed them back to me, and I collected them and finally have them. So there's a bunch of commissions because I love sketch covers now. And the Thursday will be a mystery box unboxing from Yeah Man I Got Comics. We do a couple of his boxes there. Friday, I'm going to be on the Anachronic Comics channel for the inaugural issue of the Anachronic College of Comic Knowledge.
Comic book, yep.
Yes. So check out Joe's channel. He's over there in the chat. You can go right there, and you can watch me fail miserably at my own supposed area of expertise. And then Saturday, only slabs. We're back on with another member of the community showing us up. In fact, I believe it's Eric. Yeah, man, I got comics.
Very cool.
Indeed, it is. Yeah, man, I got comics. Will be. Oh, it wasn't a Yeah, man, I got comics mystery box. It was a Jimmy Jams. Anyways, my mistake. But I got comics is only slabs Saturday, and then of course, Comics Curing Cancer. Man, that's just consuming my life for October. we'll have all the stuff October 21st, 22nd, or October 20th, 21st, and 22nd. The link tree is up on the follow at Comics Curing Cancer on Instagram. The link tree is there. It's got the list of all the shows, so you can go hit all the join stuff. Everything starting from Friday with community hangouts to auctions to sales to live draw sessions to interviews. All kinds of stuff going on. The big wheel spin, the big auction on Sunday, as we look to raise $25,000 for the American Cancer Society. Sounds like a lot, but last year we hit 22, so we should be able to do it. And last thing on there, I would say, is don't forget we still have probably about 40 copies left of the Comics Curing Cancer exclusive Unnatural Order #1. That is, or at least I should say, 40 copies available for pre-order. That is $20 for that book. All the proceeds go to Comics Curing Cancer. Thank you generously to the Comic Mint, who donated the production cost of the books for us, and for Matt Wilson, who donated the cover art and has promised that in perpetuity, if you see him at a con and you bring this book to him, he will sign it for free.
Nice.
A good deal.
That's not it at all. I was checking my schedule so see what's coming on, Jackson. Coming up for me, of course, I am Joe's co-host for the Anachronic Comics Comic Book Knowledge. So we got some fun questions for Rob. It'll be a fun show, so make sure you tune in this Friday. Also coming up in 2 nights, and Jackson Roy Kirk made me forget it already. Mr. DJ Links is on his second appearance on the 1011 this Thursday, so that'll be a fun show. And I have co-hosts will be Digger Jim and Remy Q. So we're gonna have some fun with that. And we got a lot of great people coming up over the next weeks. I'm booked up through November. We're going to start booking in December soon. But we got a lot coming, guys. And Tony, what's coming up for you, sir?
Oh, man, nothing exciting like you guys have. That's for sure. So every Sunday night, the fanboys and I, including Mr. Magic Lasso, do a book review. Fanboys Live and the Retro Review. So we pick a random story, we talk about it, we read it. So it's a lot of fun. So tune in for that. That's rotates on a number of channels. So if you sub me, Lasso, or Comic Food 2014, you'll never not be in the know. I'm danger close to 750 subs, and that was my goal for the end of the year. So if you haven't found me yet or hit that sub button, I do plan on giving something away when I hit 750. I have 2 Marvel books that I got signed with the intent to just give them away to the community. So if you want them, by all means, sub up and they're yours. You don't got to do anything crazy or whatever. Just a sub is fine, and we'll take it from there. But other than that, I have YouTube shorts that come out all the time. One came out tonight, so check it out. But I enjoy chatting with the community, jumping onto various channels. So for those of you who are looking for someone to talk to, I have no life.
That's all right. We'll book you another appearance here in the new year.
I spend about 12 hours a day in this tiny room working from home, so I can touch both walls. So
there you go.
Yeah, this is my home office myself too. Yeah, there's a lot of time in this chair.
Yeah. So the chair definitely has an indent. So check us out. Definitely sub each other out. There's a lot of great people in the chat who put out some amazing content, much better than mine. So definitely check everybody out as well.
But Tony, thank you so much for being my guest tonight. I know I'd asked you a few times. It was fun that when you finally contacted me and said you were ready to come on, I was super excited about it. It was really nice to meet you, and great books, so much fun, and loved everything you showed. And of course, thank my co-host Rob, who's here for me every Tuesday. Thank you, Rob. And we had a great chat, even though Matt Woods, Joe, and the Jackson Roy Kirk are acting up a little bit. We're going to ignore those 3. They're having romper time over there. But Great chat, great supporters, and guys, thank you all so much. And as I always like to end these things, until next time, keep it casual.